All right, guys, welcome to a Monday, day after Easter edition of Steel Toes and Score.
Yeah.
Go ahead and say it one more time now since I got the mic on.
Right. Well, at work the other day, I did this to several people at work. And just to see some people's expressions, how do you identify a dogwood tree, right? Everybody's thinking, well, I don't know, leaves. I said, no, by the bark.
Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday.
That's pretty bad, isn't it? Isn't it?
So we had to improvise on the fly. Minor technical difficulties. But our old intro that we went back to after 3 uses of the new intro, we had to dip out because I'm having issues with the SD card. So we put a backup card in, so you'll be hearing things like this and things like this, which was used for our Kobe Bryant episode back in July.
Yeah.
Because we had to make some changes. But, so here we are.
Right.
This is the first time I've been at your house to record. This is the first time we've done a full-length episode since Super Bowl weekend.
Yep. And Luck was happy to see you.
No, Luck was happy to see me.
Now, me, I don't know.
You look... your beautiful beard. Oh, man.
Yeah.
We're going to plug sponsors. We haven't plugged sponsors since...
Right, we've been doing a lot of...
smaller episodes. The reason for that is because... are you familiar with the term magnum opus?
No.
Okay. So, magnum opus is a term that's used to describe, like, creators, like writers and poets and artists, and... the magnum opus is like their finest work or some of their last work. This is their most impressive. Right. This is going to be our magnum opus episode.
Right on.
And it's taken a lot of time to prepare, and we are still not done.
Right.
So...
pretty tough episode, really.
Right now, we're at 63 pages of notes and over 40,000 words, and it's only going to grow because I still have to add more to it. So we're going to record a little bit today. We're going to do a marathon session. We're going to record half the episode and upload it. We're going to record another half back to back, which we're breaking the fourth wall. I'm not supposed to tell you that.
Right.
Then we're going to post product that, and then I'll probably have that one set to release tomorrow or in a couple days. And then this weekend we're going to get together and finish it off because this was supposed to be the top 10 point guards in NBA history.
Right.
And this is Kurt's fault.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, hear me out. So, in the days following the Super Bowl episode, where we did our current events episode, I gave Kurt an option of picking 4 things, and I did this at work. I was standing right by his saw when I walked up to him. I said, a career look back at Brett Favre. I said, Patriots 2007 season. I think I said Islanders win 4 cups, which that eventually is going to happen.
Right.
I said our top 10 point guards because I'm an idiot. And he goes, top 10 point guards.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen because as we took a couple days to put a list together and we had like 30 or 40 names. And then as I grew into it, we had a top 10 point guard list with like 27 guys on it because there was ties everywhere.
Yeah.
So we've expanded the list. It is our first top 25 episode. So we're doing a top 25 point guard list with ties on it as well. So we have a total of 30 point guards on the list. So fuck me, it's our show. We'll do it how we want. So yeah.
Yeah.
So to the best of our knowledge, all research and information provided in today's episode is factual, honest, and accurate. Any opinion-based information, we will preface by saying that this is ours. And, of course, any audio, copyright information, all that shit goes to the proper parties. We don't want no lawsuits.
Amen.
You know what I love most about this podcast?
What's that?
It's opinion-based.
Right.
I mean, we share a lot of actual information, but we share a lot of opinions.
Right.
So, a couple months ago, we started on this, and I thought it would be easy to form a top 10 list. That's not the case. The list is now revitalized to 25, and that was still not enough. I still had to stick 5 more in there. So we have 30 point guards on the list. Currently, my research, we are up to number 8, which I will finish over the course of this week. But I don't know how else we're gonna.
Should we plug someone?
You know what? We probably should. Let me pull up the sponsor page, which I haven't had to use in forever.
And we'll dive into it.
I mean, because we haven't done that in forever.
And then we maybe dive into it.
Dive into it, yeah. I need to get back out there and hustle and see if we can get some more people that's interested.
Right.
Hang on, it's loading, Puss.
Jared on the hustle.
I know. We've been busy.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Should I play some? Let's play a little.
Here you go.
Lowe's Ice Cube.
Yeah. Almost sounds like Barry White. Yeah.
So check out JDJ Log Builders on Facebook.com. They're a business. They've been in business for over 2 decades. The owner grew up in the log home business. This is my best friend's company. This is the guy I worked for a few months before I met Kurt. They build log homes from scratch. They can build log kit homes. They can do complete log home refinishing, log replacement. They can do some general contracting, a quick weekend roofing job here or there if you might need it, a pole barn, but mostly it's all log home stuff. Give Jeremy a call at 812-827-0427. Again, that's 812-827-0427. They're not just Southern Indiana local, they will travel. So check out JDJ Log Builders. If you know me, you check out my personal Facebook page. If you go back far enough, you'll see shit on there that we built, which is pretty awesome. So there, we're paying Bill. That one's a freebie. That one doesn't count. That one's a freebie. Okay. We're doing this on a Monday.
Feels weird.
It feels weird. It's a holiday Monday. And I'm so happy you dressed up for me.
Oh, yeah, right.
You just look so cute in your little flannel pajama pants and your flannel shirt.
There is nothing cute about me, all right?
That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, right.
Okay. So, you ready?
Yeah, let's dive
High five?
Yep.
Tradition around this place?
Yep.
I need a lucky strike.
A lucky strike.
I'm broke, so I bought hundreds because they last longer.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, and again, as we always say, we have so much information that I put a lot of shit in here, and I never know what we're going to need till I get in there, and it's more kind of like what kind of mood I'm in, whether I pick it or skip it.
Right.
So.
It keeps me on my toes, though.
Kurt was so happy at Christmas when I got a printer from my dad for Christmas, because he's like, I can have a copy of the notes, but... Like I said, we're still growing, and right now we're at 63 pages and 40,000 more. I wasn't printing 63 pages of notes out for him.
That's a tree or two, right? Crap.
Is it a dogwood tree?
Yeah, it could be. They generally don't get that big.
How do you tell a fucking dogwood tree?
How do you identify it? It's a dogwood tree.
By its bark.
By its bark.
I hate you. So coming in at number 25, we have a tie.
Right on.
A tie, so we have a 25A and a 25B. Coming in at 25A, the Jet.
Kenny Smith. It hurt me to put him on here. I mean, it's arguable he could have went higher, and this list is going to be full of controversy. Oh, yeah.
This list went through many times. I have pictures. I might put it up on our Steel Toes and Scoreboards Facebook page. But you got to start somewhere. Kenny was born March 8th, 1965 in Queens, the borough of Queens, New York City. He was drafted 6th overall, coming out of where? You know where?
Yeah, North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Dean Smith.
1987 NBA draft. That's the year I was born. Where did he get drafted to? Do you remember?
Rockets?
No,
he did not.
Sacramento Kings.
Okay, he finished with the Rockets.
Fun fact, though, he began his playing career being coached by the guy that you and I both often refer to as the Mountain when you talk about basketball's Mountain.
Oh.
Right there.
Dean Smith.
No. His coach in the NBA.
Oh, in the NBA. Oh.
You can put any face on Mount Rushmore you want. Adam got mad at us, but you carved the mountain out of...
Bill Russell.
Russell was let go by the team 58 games into Smith's rookie season. He would go on to make NBA All-Rookie First Team. He averaged 13.8 points, 7.1 assists per game. He would go on. He would be traded then to the Atlanta Hawks halfway through the 89-90 season, where he became a role player backing up, of all people, Doc Rivers.
Okay.
Yeah, he backed up Doc Rivers a little bit there. He was only averaging 7 points per game or so, starting 5 of the 30 games he played. He would then be traded after the 90 season to the Houston Rockets.
And that's when
I think of Kenny the Jet, I think Rockets.
He won a championship, right?
The Rockets. He'd spend 6 seasons there with the Rockets. He'd really become the player we all remember. He helped to take them to 2 NBA titles in 94, 95.
Right. Yeah.
Behind
Olajuwon.
Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon.
Drexler. I love me Clyde Drexler, dude. Holy shit.
Kurt's favorite story to tell me all the time. He goes, that Clyde Drexler video you sent me.
It's an awe. A shock and awe.
You watch that all the time.
What an athlete.
Clyde Drexler's one of my all-time favorites.
Smooth.
The Rockets would eventually release him after the 95-96 season, which didn't come as a surprise because he'd steadily lost playing time to the guy Adam Sweet calls the ugliest player in NBA history.
Sam Cassell.
And you know how many times his name has come across this list with other players?
Really?
I did not put him on this list. There could be a strong case to be made for Sam Cassell to go on this list.
Yeah, but I don't think he's top 25.
No, I don't think he is either. But he's definitely the top, ugliest player in NBA history. Adam Sweet goes, him and Nick Van Axel, 2 ugliest guys in history.
Yeah.
I did put my notes behind Sam Cassell. I put another solid point guard in his own right.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But Kenny would go on to sign with the Detroit Pistons. After that, they would waive him after only 9 games in the 96-97 season. The Orlando Magic would then come calling for Kenny Smith, but they would turn around and waive him after only 6 games.
Had he blowed his knee at some point?
At some point, I think he would then be picked up by the Denver Nuggets, and he would play the remainder of the season, and he would get actual meaningful playing time for that Nuggets team. But they only managed to win 21 games that season. Oh. And then in his last season as a player, Kenny would average 7 and 3 assists per game while seeing about 20 minutes a game. I went ahead, and here's the thing. You got to think, I've been working on these notes off and on for 2 months now. So you could definitely tell where my earlier notes started versus where I've really picked up in the last days, because some the guys have more stuff on them. Some guys have...
I just remember Jed Smith in North Carolina being one of the fastest.
That's why he's the Jet.
With the ball. Really pushed the tempo. That's why it works so well in Houston, I think.
He could run an offense.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. And he was, with the ball, he was super quick.
Basketball IQ.
And good IQ, yes. Absolutely.
Not every point guard has good IQ.
No.
That's why they're 2 guards.
Ooh. Yeah.
Okay, so here we're coming in with some controversy. Anyways, he's a 2-time NBA champion. He was all rookie first team.
That's the reason why he makes it on my list. If I'm the top 25 would be the 2 NBA championships.
So at the end of this episode, which will be the Saturday episode, I'm assuming, or whenever we record, we're kind of going to go through all the criteria we were looked at, but not every guy meets every criteria, so then we have to kind of cross-examine everything. And don't ask me and Kurt, it's our show, it's where we think they need to go. So here's going to be controversy coming out of the gate right here at 25B, Stephon Starberry Marbury. Ooh.
Yeah.
You ask our boss, he gave me a very hot take the other day.
Oh, yeah.
He said, top 25 all time, not NBA, because he did play a lot in China.
Right.
But for the time period. So, anyways, Marbury was born February 20th, 1977, Brooklyn, New York. He coming out of high school, fun fact, he was coming out of high school in 1995. He was a McDonald's All-American and a top 5 nation recruit alongside such names as Antoine Jamison, Paul Pierce,
the truth,
Kevin Garnett, among others.
Pretty good list.
That's pretty good company.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty good company, not going to lie. He played college ball at Georgia Tech, and then he got drafted 4th overall in the 1996 draft by the Milwaukee Bucks, who then traded him directly to the Minnesota Timberwolves, who had the next pick for the draft rights that the Timberwolves would end up drafting Ray Allen in a future protected first-round pick.
Ray Allen, he can stroke it.
There will be a Ray Allen career look back episode at some point. So Marbury would go on to average 15.8 points per game, 7.8 assists his rookie season. He and his second-year player, Kevin Garnett, would then take the Timberwolves to the NBA playoffs in 97 and 98. And during the lockout-shortened 99 season, Marbury would demand a trade, said he wanted to be closer to family and friends. The rumor mill said it was more about money, that he wanted to go to a bigger market where he would be provided with more endorsement opportunities. While another rumor churned that he just hated Minnesota and was jealous of Kevin Garnett's contract and success. Eventually, he would be traded to the Nets in a three-way trade in which Terrell Brandon was sent from Milwaukee to Minnesota, and Sam Castle, here we go again, Sam Castle was sent from New Jersey to Milwaukee. But while playing for the Nets is where Stephon Marbury really became an all-star. He would go on to do quite a bit of things. Let me see here. And then he would get traded to the Phoenix Suns in the 2001 offseason for Jason Kidd and Chris Dudley. As a Sun, Marbury would make his second All-Star team and his All-NBA third-team appearance in 2003. Not a lot to skip forward here. He would eventually then end up leaving the Spurs and would become traded to the New York Knicks for a whole bunch of players and a first-round draft pick. And this brought him full circle as he grew up in New York. He was a lifelong Knicks fan. He played for the U.S. on the 2004 Summer Olympics team. And in New York is where he really, blossomed into, I don't know, a star, a half a star, whatever you want to.
A respectable point guard. Yeah.
You remember Marbury?
Oh, yeah, a little bit, yeah.
So he didn't mesh well in New York, though, with the coaching change.
Ooh.
He got into it with do you remember who the head coach would have been at that time? Larry Brown.
Larry Brown. Okay, I was going to say Nick Van Gundy for some reason.
Oh, Van Gundy.
Yeah. Wasn't he a Nick coach at one time? I think he was.
Stan was.
Yeah.
So, anyways, him and Larry Brown got embroiled into a huge fight. I can vaguely remember.
I like me some Larry Brown, too.
My high school days, I can vaguely remember.
He was good. He had a good IQ, I think.
Let's see, skip here. So, eventually, he gets dealt from the Knicks. Which, I want to keep in mind, Marbury was a good player. He was a solid player.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to anybody they're going to go out of their way and be like, I completely want him, but he was solid. I think he's worthy of being on this list. Eventually, the beef with him and Larry Brown resulted in Larry Brown being fired by the Knicks.
Really?
Mike D'Antoni would then come in to be a coach. And then eventually Marbury would go packing, and he would go to play for, I believe, the Celtics, if I can. We don't sound very professional here.
Well,
Having a lot of technical problems. So anyways, on February 29th, 2009, the Knicks and Marbury agreed to a buyout after much speculation of his contract. New York wanted him gone after a while. They got tired of his antics. Not saying he was a huge drama queen like somebody like Antonio Brown, but
I'm professional. You know professional.
Professional no work for us no more.
No.
But anyways, Marbury was offered a one-year contract by the Celtics for 2009-2010 for the veterans minimum. He declined, saying that he was going to focus on his life after basketball, and then that was pretty much his NBA career, because the very next season he would go to play on in China, where he spent the rest of his career. I'm not going to list all of his. I listed part of his NBA stuff. Just know that dude balled out in China. He won tons of awards. He was a 3-time league champion in China. He won some MVPs, multiple All-Star appearances in the China League. But he's been very active off the court now. He's now coaching one of the Chinese league teams. He's an owner of a Chinese Arena Football League team. He has dual citizenship with China. He has a green card. He's also very much a philanthropist and a charity given away for causes. He donated money to the victims of 9/11 when he was in New York. He donated to Hurricane Katrina in 2005. And at the height of the COVID explosion in March 2020, he helped facilitate getting masks and other equipment sent.
Right.
So, but as far as his NBA stats go, there's no championships on here.
I was going to ask you a question.
He was a 2-time NBA All-Star, 2001, 2003, 2-time NBA All-Third Team, 2000, 2003, 1-time NBA All-Rookie Team, 1-time NBA All-Rookie. You can only be a rookie one time.
Right.
Anyways, probably doesn't belong on this list. Brother, some people's going to say.
Brother, I love you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't make my 25.
Hey,
25
you know what?
Because no championship.
No championship.
That's going to, I mean, what kind of
championships do figure in, but if we're basing off guys that don't have any championships, then John Stockton don't need to be on this list. Oh, fuck, there you go.
Oops. Give it away.
Steve Nash don't belong on the list.
Give it away now.
Adam's not a John Stockton fan. He's not a Steve Nash fan, and they're both on the list.
And opinionated.
Dave Bing don't belong on the list, then.
I've seen that name on there.
We're giving away too much.
Well, I don't.
Not every great player is going to be put in position to get a championship. Although some people's going to say, if you're a great player, you should have championships. But
the pieces have to be right. I mean,
well, does the next guy belong on the list? Coming in at number 24.
Okay.
He doesn't have a championship.
All right.
Derrick Rose.
Ooh. No, he doesn't. But that 1 year he had in Chicago was.
So I'm sure there's people screaming if they're still listening. Right? Derrick Rose, I put on the list 24. Is he too high? Is he too low? Does he even deserve to be on here? I don't know. It's our show, our rankings, and Derrick Rose, born October 4th, 1988, in Chicago, Illinois. He played 1 year in college at Memphis under head coach. Oh, come on. He puts guys in the NBA religiously now for Kentucky.
Oh, Calipari. He coached at Memphis?
He coached at Memphis before he went to,
Okay.
So he was selected number 1 overall by the Bulls in the 2008 NBA draft. At the time, coming in, the hype surrounding D. Rose was legitimate, or so I believed, and so did a lot of people. And this was during that period of time where I wasn't really watching basketball religiously. I'd kind of checked out right after about high, but I was still keeping tabs on, you're a sports fan.
Right.
But seeing what he was doing in Chicago, the love the city had, like this, Chicago loved it. He was a hometown kid. It kind of brought me back to basketball. And he would be the first Bulls player since his Royal Airness to score 10 or more points in his first 10 professional games. He would go on to win Rookie of the Year, joining Jordan in 85 and Elton Brand in 2000 as the only Chicago Bulls players to do it. And the first number 1 overall pick to do it since LeBron did it in 03. His rookie year, he was averaging 16.8 points, 6.3 assists, 3.9 rebounds, 47.5% shooting. So he was looking good. I mean,
he helped
the Bulls make the 2008 postseason as a 7th seed in the Eastern Conference. And in his playoff debut, he scored 36 points, tying Kareem for most points by a rookie since 1970. Coming in also with 11 assists. So he's,
Dude, he's about unguardable.
Do you remember who won the NBA Finals in 2008? It was the Celtics.
Yeah.
Did you know
Garnett
and Pierce and Allen?
Okay.
Did you know that a rookie Derrick Rose took the eventual champion Celtics to the wire in a 7-game series?
Yeah, I do remember some of that, yeah.
And things would only go up from there. And I don't want to go through it season by season, but things only trend up from there. He's living up to the hype. He's living up to what he's going to be. Things are looking good in Chicago. Unguardable. Yes. And then here's where, as I like to say, sometimes the wheels come off. In December of 2011, he would sign a 5-year contract extension for $94.8 million. This at the time was over 30% of the Bulls' salary cap allowed, the maximum allowed under the rule dubbed the Derrick Rose rule from the NBA CBA agreement. 2011 it just
the wheels keep coming off.
Well, no, I mean they're starting to. I got it in here. And then November 22nd of 2011, Derrick Rose injured his right knee during a game against the Portland Trail Blazers. An MRI the next day confirmed that he tore his meniscus and that surgery was required. At the time, he was averaging 15.4. And on November 25th, he underwent surgery for his torn meniscus. That was, he was out for the season. And he was never really the same player out of that. For a 3-season span, it looked like championships galore were coming back to Chicago.
Yeah. A lot of hype.
Since that time, to kind of put a bow on this, on June 22nd of 2016, he was traded to the New York Knicks. And then on April 2nd, 2017, he was ruled out the rest of the season after tearing a meniscus in his other knee. And just knee injury after knee injury, and then he bounces around. He would go play for the Utah Jazz. He would spend some time with LeBron in Cleveland. Then he would sign with the Pistons.
And then same explosive. Was not there.
And then he went back to the Knicks, where he is now in the 2021 offseason. The Knicks signed him to a 3-year contract extension worth $43 million. I know, I didn't cover everything there with him because, there's so much information to cover.
Right.
I really think had his body not failed him, and he's still playing.
Yes,
he's not the exceptional player that he was.
He's at least
but now
a couple steps slower for sure.
He's became solid in the last few years. He's become solid,
savvy, solid. Yeah,
he's not the same Derrick Rose, and I really think had his body not just shit the bed on him.
Yeah, the sky was the limit there.
So
unguardable.
Yeah, and there I didn't even list half of his shit because this was the early days of the notes. So I don't have all of his accomplishments and awards. So we'll just we'll move forward. Number 23.
Okay.
Mark Jackson.
Big point guard.
Derrick Rose belong on the list. You know what? I'm gonna. You charge me with putting the list together. You give me these names, I give you these names, and then you say put the list together and rank them. So I'm kind of interested. Me and you have never really had a fight on the air before, but damn it, if you want to fight with me.
Well, I ain't gonna be a fight or anything, but
I don't want you to hurt me. You're old and.
Yeah, I'll probably break easy.
Verbally fight with me here.
I don't think he belongs on that list. Ooh, yeah. Hot take.
What about Mark Jackson?
Top 25
point guards of all time.
He belongs.
Mark Jackson was a solid fucking player.
Yes, he was. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
He possibly gets in my top 25. Yes.
We got a lot of New York guys on this list, too. Born in New York. Mark Jackson was born April 1st, 1965 in Brooklyn, New York. He played... Do you know where he played college ball? It's right there.
I want to say Syracuse, but
no, it starts with an S. St. John's.
St. John's, I'm sorry.
St. John's. Alongside... Chris Mullin.
Was it Chris Mullin was there, too?
Uh-huh.
I can't think of their coach's name.
I didn't put it in there.
Okay.
So he was drafted in the first round, and obviously this is February notes here. He was drafted in the first round of the '87 NBA draft by the New York Knicks, which put him teaming up with Patrick Ewing and one of my favorite players that everybody kind of hates.
John?
No. Charles
Oakley.
Charles Oakley.
Solid player.
You know, sidebar.
Rebounding
Why
machine.
do people hate on Charles Oakley so much?
Because he
was an asshole, wasn't he?
Well, he kind of had a thug mentality, man, a little bit after the court.
Who doesn't love Charles Oakley, though?
I always did like Charles Oakley. I thought he was very, very efficient at what he did, was rebound and get people's heads and defend. He was a damn good defender.
Nobody got in people's heads better than Bill Laimbeer.
Oh, Bill Laimbeer.
Except for another guy on the top 10 of this list, which we'll get to later,
right?
Nicknamed the Glove.
Yeah, he could get in people's head.
For those of you that don't know, you'll just have to wait.
Right.
But anyways, rookie Mark Jackson's teaming with Patrick Ewing and Charles Oakley, and they took the Knicks to a playoff team in the late 80s and early 90s. Before the Knicks peaked and became regular playoff contenders, though, he was traded to the Clippers in 1992. He had a steady career with the Knicks, notably under coach Rick Pitino. Averaging 13 points and 10 assists per game in his rookie season, earning him...
assists, folks.
That's the highest so far on this list.
10 assists. That's another criteria for a point guard, I think.
Dishing the ball out.
You got to get everybody involved.
He won the Rookie of the Year. He was the lowest overall draft pick to win the award since Salisbury did it in 1958. He was the only non-lotto pick to have won the award since the introduction of the system in 1985. And until the 2016-2017 season, where Malcolm Brogdon won the award as a second pick. Let's see here. What else do we got, Dirty Curdy?
I like Mr. Mark Jackson.
Oh, really? You like Mr. Mark Jackson?
He can dish the rock.
Let's see. So, they're title contenders. But then I just want to skip forward here. So yeah, after the 91-92 season, Jackson would be traded to the Los Angeles Clippers in a trade that saw Charles Smith and Doc Rivers go to the Knicks, which is funny because Doc Rivers was the Clippers coach eventually.
Right.
There's not a lot to write about. I didn't find a lot worthy of putting in here about the short time he was with the Clippers. And then in June of 94 is when he came to the Pacers.
Right.
And, you know, with Rick Smits there, Dale Davis, Reggie Miller, and I believe Antonio Davis, too.
Chris Mullin was on that team.
For 5 out of the next 6 seasons, the Pacers were
solid
in the 90s, contenders. Jackson would eventually be traded to the Nuggets before the 96-97 season.
The last time the Pacers were competitive.
Yeah, that wasn't a good deal. He was a good fit with the Pacers organization. That was a good team. Those Pacer teams,
they were good.
Reggie Miller scores 9 points in 8 seconds or whatever it was.
I thought they were missing another scorer always, though. Another guy that could just, when Reggie wasn't hitting and on, could light it up. I thought they were the one piece short all the time, but
should have got Grant Hill.
That would have been the other piece, folks. Stop right there. You had me, Grant Hill.
Kurt knows this isn't a Duke thing because I am a closet Duke fan. This is a Grant Hill was my guy as a kid. Like, everybody loved Jordan, everybody loved Shaq, everybody loved Barkley. Yeah, those are all my guys, but like Grant Hill was my guy.
He was pretty damn good.
So anyways, he would be traded to the Nuggets. And then he comes back to the Pacers. Then he would leave the Pacers in the offseason, go play for the Raptors. Then they had extra money due to Tracy McGrady leaving at the time. Jackson would only play 54 games for the Raptors before being traded at the trade deadline back to the Knicks. When he was traded to the Knicks with Muggsy Bogues, nothing happened. He's on the twilight of his career here. He became the starting point guard, though, for the rest of the season. He helped the Knicks to a 4th seed in the Eastern Conference, and they got knocked out of the playoffs by the Raptors. The Knicks ended the 2001-2002 season with a 30-52 record, out of the playoffs for the first time in 15 years. Of course, like I said, we're coming to the end of Jackson's career here. In October of 2002, he signed with the Utah Jazz, played for them during the 02-03 season. January 2004, he signs with the Houston Rockets to back up Steve Francis. He only played 42 games as a Rocket, and he finished his career at the season after that season.
What kind of career numbers are we talking? You got?
So he ranks 13th on the NBA's all-time great. Some of this I knew. Like I said again, I got lazy.
Well,
you have the easiest job.
Oh yeah.
I just tell you to read an article,
right?
Watch film,
right?
I'm the stat geek, the nerd geek. This was a huge list to put together. This will be our magnum opus episode, although this first episode, the first few kind of suck here because I'm going off of February notes instead of more current shit. But I was lucky enough to put Jackson's shit in here because I like. So Jackson ranks 13th on the NBA's all-time list. 1,296. What the fuck is that? Is that his points?
Sure, it's an assist, probably.
Or some, I don't know. So
more than that assist, surely.
I'm trying to think what the fuck the 1296 is. There's a
pretty good defender too, if I remember right. I mean, steals.
He's 26 on the all-time minutes played list, 77th on the all-time three-point field goal miss, 65th on the all-time three-point attempts list, 4th on the all-time assist list with 10,000.
There you go.
334. 23rd on the all-time steals list with 1608. But what the fuck is the 1296? That's not points.
No, he scored more points than that.
I wonder what the fuck that is. I have a glare in my notes right there's two spaces instead of
Games
like one
played.
space. Maybe?
I bet you that's what it is. Games played.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah.
I got scared there for a minute.
No.
And then 23rd on the all-time steals list, 1608. He never achieved great individual success despite winning Rookie of the Year in 88. He only made one All-Star appearance in his career in 1989. He is also notable for prompting an NBA rule change, which I thought you would do this. This is often known in today's circles as the Mark Jackson rule. That is a thing. Google that. That is his penchant for when he would back down guards in the post.
Yeah.
For you're laughing.
Yeah.
For 15 or more seconds at a time, then the league would institute a 5-second back to the basket violation.
Right.
Which is now literally known as the Mark Jackson rule.
Right.
Because Jackson was a son of a bitch as a defender.
Well, yeah, and he had good ball handling skills too. Really good.
Hell yeah.
I mean, when he said, 4th all-time assist?
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive, folks. He belongs in the top 25.
Thank you, Kurt. Thank
Absolutely.
you for that. Jackson was never a statistical oddity. He never really averaged more than 15 per game and only averaged 45% shooting from the field and 32 from beyond the arc for his career. But what I think really sets him apart was just his ability to lead an offense at an efficient rate.
There you go.
And he limited turnovers.
There you go. High IQ.
High IQ.
Everybody involved. That's my idea of a point guard.
Thank you, Kurt.
Yeah, he's in the top 25 in my book.
Okay. Coming in at number 22.
Right.
Which we laugh about this. Obviously, this was before my time. So, thank God for growing up as a child and then YouTube and the internet. And coming in at number 22. What the hell is that?
Luck. You're crying, whining.
Mr. Fo. Gonna be at 4 games.
You got me on
Maurice Cheeks, baby.
Mo Cheeks.
Mo Cheeks was born September 8th, 1956 in the Windy City. He was taken 36th overall in the second round of the 78 NBA draft by one of your favorite teams.
The Sixers.
The 76ers. Playing college ball out of West Texas State University.
Didn't know that.
Played 15 years as a point guard in the NBA.
That's impressive.
11 with the 76ers. Yeah. Let's see what all I got here for old Mo.
I know he's got at least 2 championships.
Well, give me just a second. I want to scroll down and look at something real fast.
And in your jockstrap defender.
In your jockstrap defender.
Yeah.
So, man, this really was a problem because I worked on this off and on for 2 months, and then I didn't work on it for like ever. There you go, folks. Bonus content. I've not been doing my job. So he earned 4 trips to the NBA All-Star Game. He helped the 76ers with 3 trips to the NBA Finals in a 4-year span in the 80s, 80, 82, and 83, including an NBA championship in 83. And I want you to think about this. While starting at point guard for a 76ers team at the time that included
Dr. J,
Daryl Dawkins, Moses Malone, Andrew, Tony, and Charles motherfucking Barkley. Cheeks was well regarded for his team playing defensive skills. He was named to 4 straight NBA all-defensive squads from 83 to 86 and earned a spot on the second team in 87. He had his best seasons while being a Philadelphia 76er. And at the age of 22, he gained significant playing time on the 76ers roster, solidifying himself as the starting point guard and earning himself a valuable minute. You see how excited I get? Love Mo Cheeks.
Oh, me too, dude.
Before my time, love Mo Cheeks.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, going on. The 76ers were also in playoff contention every year that he was on the team, except for the year I was born, the 87-88 season. By his 5th year in the league, he was selected to his first All-Star appearance, and he had averaged 12.5 points, 6.9 assists, and 2.3 steals for the 82-83 season. The 76ers also had the best season in this era, having a 65-17 record, which is the second best season record in franchise history. They would win the NBA championship that year, which was Cheeks' first and only title. Unfortunately, he would be an integral part of the 76ers for the rest of his time in Philadelphia. However, they failed to repeat the level of success that they had reached in the 82-83 season. He would be selected to 3 more All-Star appearances, and it just goes on.
Yeah.
It just goes on. I'm going to cut it off a little bit there. Cheeks was balling out. In the 76ers were no longer the elite title contenders, though by the 86-87 season they had been prior. They were swept by the Knicks. And then in the 89 offseason, they would trade him to the San Antonio Spurs for Johnny Dawkins and Jay Vincent.
Best.
And it...
Yeah.
Kirk Kelly, that is why you're on. That is why I can't do this without you. I need those little quippets. Bust.
Well, I mean,
Dawkins. Yeah. Okay. At 33, Cheeks was aging and in the twilight of his career, but he still played pretty well for the Spurs, averaging 10 points a game. He played 50 games for the club and was the starting point guard. However, he wasn't able to finish the 89 and 90 season. And here, I'm getting ready to read you something. And this is a name. This is a name that I had brought up to you and you liked, and I did not put him on the list.
Okay.
In February of 1990, Cheeks was traded to the New York Knicks for Rod Strickland.
Man, I like some Rod Strickland, too.
I almost put him on this list.
Yeah, he's a damn good guard.
Anyways, Cheeks would play the remainder of the season in New York. He's only averaging 7.9 points, 31 games for the franchise. They went 45-37 that year and made the 1990 playoffs, but they lost in the second round, getting murdered by the Detroit Pistons.
Like a bad boy era? start?
So we're looking at 90,
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah, 89, 90. Fucking Bill Lambier. We need to do a Bad Boys episode.
Yeah, for sure.
As much as I talk about Isaiah, I wonder if Isaiah will be on the... Okay. If Isaiah is not on the list, we shouldn't be doing a podcast. We probably shouldn't be doing one anyways.
I don't know if he makes it or not.
I think you'd fire me if he was on the list.
He's definitely on.
So anyways, following that, in the 91 offseason, the Knicks would trade Cheeks to the Hawks for Tim McCormick. Solid player. McCormick was a solid player in his day. And also a 1994 first-round pick, which would later become Charlie Ward. Cheeks' point average dropped drastically to where he was only averaging like 5 points a game. He was no longer the same caliber player. He would become an unrestricted free agent. He would not re-sign with the Atlanta Hawks. Scroll just a little too much there. Let me back that up just a hair pudding.
Cheeks.
Yeah. Let's see. Where did he go here? Let me lost my spot. In the second to last game of the 91-92 season, while playing for the Hawks, visiting the Knicks, Cheeks picked 4 steals off to surpass longtime Philadelphia teammate Irving for the ABA and NBA steals record. After the season ended, he became a free agent, but he never played in the NBA again. At 36 years old, he would retire from the NBA. In 2018, he was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame because we don't have an NBA Hall of Fame. He was inducted in the Naismith Hall of Fame. In NBA history, he ranked 6th all-time in steals and 11th in assists. And upon his retirement from the NBA in 1993, he was the NBA all-time leader in steals and 5th in assists. Of course, he was later suppressed. Here's some. This is still February notes, but it's a little more. It's a little more. He's a 1-time NBA champion, a 4-time All-Star, a 4-time All-Defensive First Team. That's a big one with me.
Me too.
1-time All-Defensive Second Team. But he was very animated too. Never averaging more than 16 points or 10 assists per game. Cheeks was the longtime point guard for the 76ers. He prided himself on strict defense and his ability to control the tempo of the game without turning the ball over.
Key. That's very key.
That's very key.
Yes.
These mics are so loud when you fucking move them, dude.
I know.
When I'm always editing these episodes, you can tell where me and you have bumped the mic or moved it because the EQ goes. Technology, it's a fickle beast.
Yeah, it is.
But anyways, he played a key role on some of the most dominant teams in league history, as well as the famed '83 Sixers team that we talk about, which featured Moses Malone and Dr. J and his faux. Hop in your Google machine, because I always like to tell you guys shit that's funny or comical you should see. Get on Google. I think there might be a clip on YouTube too. I don't remember, but just Google, just Google faux, which is 444. Just with Mo Cheeks' drawl, it's faux, meaning they were going to win 4 games, win the NBA title.
Right.
It's hilarious. It's the faux.
That was a damn good team.
Oh, and you always like small little random quippets that I put in.
Oh, yeah.
His number 10 was officially retired by the 76ers. It'll never be wore again.
Man, I tell you what, if your jersey gets retired, you're worthy of a list.
Does he belong on this list?
My mind, yes.
Do I have him ranked just about right, too high, too low?
I think it's about right.
Because he was at 22. Because there's going to be some argument about the guy coming in at 21. A guy that's a current player, a more modern player, and a guy that doesn't have any championships. Guy got close last year to getting a championship. Did not get it.
I remember.
This guy was born March 6, 1985 in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and played for the late Skip Prosser at Wake Forest University. CP3 coming in at 21, okay. Chris Paul. This was about the end of the February notes. And I did a little bit of work in March and mainly done all the work this weekend. So, and still working because they're not finished. This is where I really start to get real in depth with the notes. So there is a huge bit of Chris Paul shit.
You need to sell me on Chris Paul.
If I have to say on Chris Paul, I'm going to have to go a little bit more in depth.
Okay.
So... Okay, so he played college ball, Demon, which by the way,
Demon Deacons, yeah,
coolest name in.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Demon Deacons. He was taken 4th overall in the 2005 draft by the New Orleans Hornets. That was about the time Hurricane Katrina. So they played most of their home games in Oklahoma City during his first 2 seasons with the team. He finished his first season in the league leading all rookies in points, assists, steals, double-doubles, and become only the second rookie in NBA history to lead the league in total steals. With final averages of 16 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals per game, he was unanimously named the Rookie of the Year. The only other rookie to receive a first-place vote was Duron Williams. I was going to have a little quip about Duron, but when I think of Duron, I just kind of don't think about Duron because there's not a lot to... Yeah. Anyways, this is getting more towards the time when you were kind of checking out of basketball.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of like when I was checking back in, you were kind of checking out. You were still kind of...
No, I'm still not.
You weren't really... You didn't have a fancy internet phone like you got now. You probably had one of them old school flippers.
That's fancy, yeah.
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 Can't really... You could get on the internet on a flip phone. It wasn't very good.
Yeah, it wasn't very good, though. I still got a pretty cheap phone.
These fucking things. I'm holding it right. I hate these things. Them old school flip phones, you could chuck that son of a bitch 75 yards into a pond of water and pull it out and it'd still work. Yeah. So I need to sell you on CP3. So
yeah, you got to sell me on CP3.
Oh man, that's gonna be a lot to try to sell. I put so much fucking information about CP3. Almost like I knew I was gonna have to do this. Where are we at here?
I mean, I have seen the footage of him playing.
He increased his sophomore season. He was averaging 17 points a game, 8 assists per game. He only played 64 games due to injury, so right off the bat, but he got his first All-Star appearance game.
He's still playing?
He's still playing. Okay. Phoenix Suns, I do believe.
So he's got one thing going for him here, longevity.
Longevity.
Yeah.
Let's see. So now we're in year 3. Prior to the start of the 2008-2009 season, he signed a contract extension with the Hornets worth $68 million.
That's a lot of scratch.
December 17, 2008, he set the NBA record for consecutive games with steals at 106 consecutive games with a steal. Several occasions he came within a few steals of recording a quadruple-double, including a 27-point, 10-rebound, 15 assists, and 7-steal game against the 76ers in January of 2009. That was all over ESPN. I can remember the highlights for that. His final averages for that season were 22.8, 5.5 rebounds, 11 assists, and 2.8 steals per game. So he's balling.
11 assists.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. And the steal thing is pretty impressive too. Crap.
So you get into the 2009-2010 season. The Hornets didn't do so well. They fired Byron Scott. Chris Paul would start a little controversy when he would announce he was displeased with the move, commenting that the team management should have consulted with me and asked how I feel before that happened. Okay, time out. You're a player,
right? Not
management,
right?
And even though you're not management, you're not LeBron,
right?
You're not Kobe,
right?
At that time. So
their little ego.
I mean, they don't need to consult shit. They shouldn't consult shit with LeBron and Kobe either.
I mean,
but out of respect for LeBron and Kobe being LeBron and Kobe, who were probably the 2 biggest stars in the league at that time,
I mean, who's signing these checks?
Yeah, you're CP3. Like, you're a young CP3, not the CP3 we know. Like, we're not consulting shit with you.
Right,
like,
right. Who's signing the checks?
The ego on this motherfucker.
Yeah, that's a strike.
And then maybe some karma. I don't know. Early in February of 2010, he would tear his fucking knee up. He'd be sidelined for over a month. He missed the All-Star game. He only played 45 games that season. And then in 2010, 2011, he had another injury scare.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Almost already, I'm thinking.
No,
because when I think of a great point guard, is durability, longevity, and then the other things that fit. Then we get into the numbers part of it and the championships.
Numbers are important.
Yes, absolutely. If you were a good teammate or not, right?
I'm going to break out the criteria for this list, and people are going to be like, what the fuck? And then they're like, well, some of these guys don't check the criteria. Well, some do. Well, then they're not checking these criteria. I have to examine this another way. We have a Jared and Kurt system, which is probably completely flawed and completely fucked. But everybody on this list found a way to be on the list because the Jared and Kurt system liked what they brought to offer.
Right.
The JKS, the Jared and Kurt system.
Right, okay.
We ain't going to have any listeners anyways.
What do you mean?
I don't know. They think this is supposed to be our magnum opus. That's the word of the day. Magnum opus.
It is magnum opus. And if they don't think so, they can kiss our... Yeah.
That's right. We're doing a marathon session today. We're going to upload one, record another, upload one. So I got to keep selling you on Chris Paul. So 2010, 2011, he had another injury scare, head-on collision on the court. I don't remember this. I don't remember them talking about this. But apparently him and Ramon Sessions collided, and they both got carried off the court in a fucking stretcher. CP3 got a concussion out of it. But he would return 2 games later. Hornets made the playoffs. They were matched up against the defending champion Lakers in the first round. In Game 1, CP3 balled out. And in Game 4, he balled out. But the Lakers, they were eliminated in 6 games. He took Kobe to the wire almost. And then on December 8th, 2011... So for the 2011-2012 season, the Hornets would agree to a 3-team trade sending CP3 to the Lakers. I know you don't remember that. I know. Yeah. The thought of Kobe playing with CP3 was, okay. The NBA, who owned the Hornets at the time, nullified the deal because Commissioner David Stern claimed that New Orleans would be better off by keeping CP3. The teams involved in the transaction attempted to lobby the league to reverse its ruling and reconstruct the deal, but to no avail. So a month later, on December 12th, the Hornets agreed to a trade that would send CP3 to the Clippers instead. But the deal broke down after the NBA added additional demands to the original terms. 2 days later, the teams finally completed the trade, sending CP3 and 2 future second-round picks to the Clippers in return for Eric Gordon, Chris Kaman, Al Farouk Amini, and the Minnesota Timberwolves' unprotected first-round pick, which would be later used to draft Austin Rivers. So it's like, maybe they didn't want a super team. They didn't want CP3 with Kobe there and everything going on. I don't know.
That would have been a good matchup. Yeah. That would have been pretty tough.
Right. And here's where things get good. The Clippers have already got Blake Griffin.
Okay.
They've got DeAndre Jordan.
Right.
If memory serves me correct. Grant Hill's in the back end of his career. He's there.
Okay.
Chauncey Billups.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and break the fourth wall. Chauncey Billups is on this list. Right. I was a Chauncey Billups guy. I could not put...
He won a championship.
I could not have him on this list. So now CP3's coming in. This is a Clippers organization that only made the playoffs once in the 2000s era, which, by the way, Sam Castle helped take them there.
Right.
We just keep passing Sam Castle over, don't we?
Yeah, and I don't know what if it's because he
Okay.
had an ugly mug or
I don't know. But anyways, this is a Clippers organization that then in LA, it's not all about the Lakers anymore.
Right.
The Clippers start
Right.
picking up steam, and that's when they become Lob City.
Yeah.
Because the alley-oops dunk from Paul to Blake Griffin or Paul to DeAndre Jordan, Lob City, and CP3 would fucking blossom in LA. He'd go on to start averaging like 19 points a game, 9 assists in a game. He became the first Clipper to be named to the NBA All-First Team since the franchise moved to LA in the 80s. All-Star appearances left and right. You're really going to make me do this, aren't you?
Well, I'm not sold yet.
Oh, my God. At the 2013 All-Star Game, CP3 led the West to a victory with a 20-point, 15-assist performance, earning the first All-Star Game MVP, which comes with a caveat because the All-Star Games in this era aren't like the All-Star Games in the past.
No, I don't.
These are smarter players, younger players, richer players who are like, hey, if I blow my knee out in this stupid freebie game.
Right.
Whereas back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s and 90s, these motherfuckers were it was about pride.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
There wasn't no 200-point games like there is now.
Right. They actually played little defense.
Yeah.
Had a game plan.
But anyways.
And I think it should go back to that, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would finish the 2013-2014 season, or the 2012-2013 season, I should say, helping the Clippers to a franchise record 56 wins. They were seeded fourth in the West, entering the playoffs. They were defeated in the first round by the Memphis Grizzlies, which, by the way, in the early 2010s, the Memphis Grizzlies were a pretty damn solid team.
Yeah.
Mark Gasol was a solid player. You had Mike Conley, I do believe.
Yep. Was Finley on it? No, Finley wasn't on it.
No. The Clippers announced they would not renew head coach Vinny Del Negro's contract.
Vinny Del Negro.
Yeah. Vinny Del Negro was a good coach.
Yes. Played it where?
Where did Vinny Del Negro
Well,
play?
NC State, wasn't it? Under Valvano?
Might have been.
They did. Was he on that 84?
Might have been. I didn't check that. Might have been.
I was thinking
He's looking at me, folks. That means check it out.
Well, I'm just curious. I thought he played in NC State and was maybe part of that Valvano team.
All right. He's looking at me, folks. I better check this out. Okay, Google. Where did Vinny Del Negro play college ball?
Vinny Del Negro attended North Carolina State University.
There you go.
Right. I thought he was going to back up. Maybe a starter. I wasn't a starter. Anyway.
Anyways, rumors arose of CP3 forcing Del Negro out. So, here you go. But then at the start of the 2013-2014 season, he'd re-signed with the Clippers for a 5-year deal on a contract worth over $107 million. Despite a shoulder injury that sidelined him for over a month, they set a new franchise record with 57 wins. His final averages that season were 19, 10, and 2. In Game 1 of the second round of playoffs, he hit a career postseason high 8 3-pointers to help the Clippers take a series lead over the Thunder. And in Game 5, with the series tied 2-2, he made a string of mistakes that would eventually lead to the Thunder beating. But CP3 would take ownership in the press game conference, saying it's all on me. Everything that happened is on me. Oklahoma would eventually eliminate Los Angeles in 6 games. And then in 2014-2015, for the first time in his career, CP3 would play in all 82 games. So for the first time in 10 years, not sold.
Not sold. Sorry, bro. But that's all right. I mean, CP3, good ball player, for sure.
So they lose in the playoffs to the Rockets in 7 games, despite them holding a 3-1 series lead over the Houston Rockets that season.
If only him and Kobe could have played together.
I want to point something out about this. The 2014-2015 season, he played all 82 games. Okay, he averaged 19.1 points and had a league-high 10.2 assists per game. They made the playoffs. In Game 7 of the first round of the playoffs, CP3 would hit a go-ahead shot with the second left to take the Clippers over the Spurs, despite him playing with a hamstring injury, okay? So they beat the Spurs. This is a Spurs team that had just 2 seasons before went to 2 straight NBA final appearances.
Right.
Losing 1 to the Heat and LeBron, beating 1 with the Heat and LeBron. Okay? That would put them in the second round against the Houston Rockets. And they eventually lost in 7 games despite having a 3-1 series lead. This would have been the team that year to take them there.
Right.
And he was balling out. The defeat would mark 10 consecutive seasons and 7 consecutive playoff appearances without an NBA Conference Finals for CP3. So, man, I'm going through CP3 at link here.
Well, I mean, you had somebody you're trying to sell.
So, January of 15 and 16, he would lead the Clippers on a 10-game winning streak despite missing Griffin and Jordan at various points in the season due to injury. For the 3rd straight year, he would finish with averages of 19, 10, and 2. And to begin the postseason, they drew a matchup with Damian Lillard and the Portland Trail Blazers. They would take a 2-1 series lead.
There's somebody I didn't think of.
Well, I thought about Dame. Yeah. I did. And I voted no.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
said what one guy had, for some reason, I hadn't thought of. Huh. Okay.
Anyways, in Game 4 of that, he would break his hand and was ruled out. Without CP3 and Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan and the rest of the supporting cast couldn't carry this team past anybody. So they would lose the series. And then in 16 and 17, CP3 would miss 21 regular season games due to rest or injury. At the season's end, he was not rewarded with an All-Star honor. That was just the second time in his career he would fail to make an All-NBA team. And then in the playoffs, they would make the playoffs. And then in the playoffs, they would be eliminated in their first-round series against the Utah Jazz while he was averaging 25 points, 9 assists, and 5 rebounds over the 7-game playoff series. And then on June of 2017 was when he got traded to the Rockets in a big trade. The Rockets would give up Patrick Beverley, Sam Decker, Montrezl Harrell, Darian Hillard, DeAndre Wiggins, Lou Williams, Kyle Wilter, and a future first-round pick, as well as cash. That's the amount that they put together to put CP3 in Houston with James Harden. And at the time of this, I thought this was
the shit, huh?
Because you're going to have Harden, who can play the point,
right,
but he's more traditionally a two-guard. You're going to have him and CP3. If Harden's kind of a ball hog, but the reason he's a ball hog is because Harden's fucking smart.
Yeah, he's pretty good IQ.
If you let CP3 run the offense, that was going to... Anyways, I had high expectations for this.
That's on paper, man. It's like, poof, poof. Good combination there. But what about the Kobe? If him and Kobe would have been together.
Yeah. So I'm kind of going to end it there. And just summarize the rest. On July of 2018, the Rockets would sign him to a 4-year, $160 million a 4-year, $160 million max contract. A lot of scratch. In the 2019 Western Conference semifinals, CP3 and the Rockets would lose to Golden State. And if you remember, there was no Kevin Durant available for the Warriors at that time.
Right.
July of 2019, the Rockets would then, a year later, they would trade CP3 and 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks to Oklahoma City Thunder in exchange for Westbrook. For the first time in years, CP3 found himself on a young, rebuilding team without championship aspirations. Despite speculation involved that the Thunder would try to move on for Paul immediately, he embraced his role as the veteran leader of the team, which earned him praise from head coach Billy Donovan. He would look good while playing for the Rockets, or the Thunder, excuse me, continuing to put up double-digit stats. He would get an all-star appearance, his first one in like 5, 6 seasons. The Thunder would lose in the playoffs. Eventually, he took them to the postseason. They would lose. November of 2020, the Thunder would trade him to the Phoenix Suns, which is where he spent time, which is where he is still at. And then he made it all the way to the NBA Finals this past year against the Bucks.
That's a plus, yeah.
Eventually, they would lose
To Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
The freak.
The Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh, man, what a... Ugh.
And then in August of 2021, this past summer, he would sign a 4-year contract extension with the Suns worth up to $120 million. He's often referred to as the point god. Many people surmise that he deserves to be on this list. He's a 12-time NBA All-Star, an All-Star Game MVP, 4-time NBA All-First Team, 5-time NBA All-Second Team, 1-time NBA All-Third Team, 7-time All-Defensive First Team, 2-time All-Defensive Second Team, Rookie of the Year, Rookie First Team, 4-time NBA Assists Leader, 6-time NBA Steals Leader, and part of the 75th Anniversary Team, which for those that don't know, the Anniversary Teams select the best players in league history to put on these teams.
Them kind of numbers are starting to pull me in. I tell you what, dude. Hey,
man.
You want him on the list? He's there.
No,
Because I don't really know enough about him. I just don't remember much.
you weren't watching as much, and this is when I started getting out and then come back in.
So
I put him on the list.
yeah, that's good enough for me.
Okay.
You
All
told
right.
me.
Okay. You want to
Yeah.
pay a bill?
Let's pay a bill.
Let's pay a bill. I was surprised when he said, "Man, just come on out Monday. We'll just bomb it out. We'll do a marathon." I was like, "Well, what if I'm here till 6 or 7?" He goes, "Well, I guess we'll get something to eat and we'll start
Yeah.
recording again." All right, you want to pay a bill?
Let's pay a bill.
Okay. So check out Glary Guitars. You can find him on Facebook or check out GlaryMusic.com. That's GLARRY. Very, very reasonable and affordable instruments. I have a acoustic I bought last year, $80 acoustic. Kurt's seen it. Kurt's played it. Kurt likes it. It's a $80 acoustic that looks, sounds, and plays like a $300, $500 guitar. I like to call mine the Cannon because of how loud it's very loud.
Very loud, yes.
Very little adjustment out of the box, so they're basically ready to go. And they have more than guitars. They have electric, they have basses, they have fiddles, they have anything you need. Give them a call at 1-606-404-6286. Once again, that's 606-404-6286. That's GlaryMusic.com.
Yep. Right on.
We're an hour and 13 minutes into tape. We're doing good.
Yes.
So, CP3. Okay. This one is where some controversy is going to come. And our quote-unquote third anchor, who has never sitting on an episode, but he's pitched in across the hall.
Right.
He had some pushback. He gave an opinion last night.
Yeah.
In the wee hours of the morning when I was working on this, you sent me a text. Coming in at number 20, we have another tie. Coming in at 20A, I have the NBA logo himself.
Jerry
West. Jerry is listed as a point guard for most of his career, although some are argue, and Doyle made his opinion, Jerry is more of a two-guard. But Basketball Reference and Wikipedia and NBA.com and everywhere else does have Jerry listed more traditionally as a point guard.
Yeah.
So
Jerry West.
Comes dirt poor,
Yeah.
Appalachian, West Virginia, born May 28th, 1938 in Cheylin, West Virginia.
West Virginia. Mountaineer.
He was drafted with the second overall pick of the 1960 NBA draft by the Minneapolis Lakers.
Lakers, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Let's see here. His college coach was also hired to coach the Lakers. I just realized I didn't put his alma mater. He played college ball for West Virginia. Yeah,
Mountaineer.
Bob Huggins. He didn't play for Bob Huggins,
no.
obviously. That's
I
who's
like
coaching
me
now.
some Bob Huggins.
I love
Yeah.
Bob Huggins.
Yeah.
He's a Bobby Knight guy.
Yes. Yeah.
He became the first draft pick of the relocated Los Angeles franchise. His college coach was hired to coach the Lakers. He played West as a guard in contrast to when West played. He played more as a forward in college. The Lakers at the time were captained by Hall of Famer Elgin
Baylor.
And a lot of people. Rod Hundley.
Yeah.
Bobby Leonard.
Bobby Slick Leonard?
Uh-huh. And I have an absorbent, and I mean fucking absorbent amount of research for West.
Okay.
And I am being so lazy, I don't want to go through it all.
Well, for some reason, you ain't got to sell me on Jerry West.
So what I want to do
Okay.
is just summarize it if I can, and then read you the stats
There you go.
if I can find it without being connected to the internet. Hopefully it'll just... There we go.
I hear birds in the background.
Fill time for a minute, Kurt. Fill time.
Well, we'll just let nature do it now. I hear birds.
The birds are good.
Yeah.
I put a shitload of Jerry West information in here, so I'm just going to kind of...
Super in the hip, man.
He became the first player voted NBA Finals MVP from a losing team.
Really?
In 69. It's kind of a summary. Not a real good summary. Where's the one I'm looking for? Dude, you should see how many window tabs are open on my computer over here of shit I was looking at. Where's the Jerry West one I'm looking for? No one on this earth could probably hate the Celtics as much as he did. He lost to them in the finals 6 times. Out of the 6, he faced them.
That was Bill Russell.
But he put up beastly numbers against them on a consistent basis, just as he did the rest of the NBA. West was a masterful combo guard who performed at a high level thanks to his scoring and playmaking. He was a great shooter, both off the dribble and with his feet set. He made the All-Star in each of his seasons in the league, which only 4 other players with 10-plus seasons have ever accomplished. He ranks all-time 228th in rebounds, 32nd in assists, 22nd in scoring. Let me go back to my notes here. Man, I didn't realize I put this much in. This is still February notes here. Must have been on a good one that night.
He would have lost to Bill Russell them times. What?
Probably so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because one of the finals here, he became the only recipient of the finals MVP after losing the team. After the loss, West was seen as the ultimate tragic hero. After the game, Bill Russell held his hand and said, "I love you, Jerry." Oh, Bill Russell.
Yeah.
Dude. I think there's 4 pages that was just Jerry West.
Well, that puts him on the list right there.
Okay, so here we go. Let's see. Let's summarize this now. Try to cap it off. And kind of just cap it off. There's a lot of information I had in there that I just got a little bit lazy. I don't want to go through 4 pages of Jerry West when I don't have to sell him to you.
You don't have to sell him now.
So a couple things I want to point out. In the 76-77 season, West become the coach of the Los Angeles Lakers after he retired. In 3 years, he led the Lakers and star center Kareem to a 145-101 record, making the playoffs in all 3 seasons and reaching the Western Conference Finals. And then, of course, for 30 years, from 79 to 2009, he was a high-ranking executive for the Lakers. And then in 80, the first 3 years, he was more of a talent scout. And then in 83, he became the GM of the Lakers. And I know what you're thinking. Yes, this was the guy responsible for putting the Showtime Lakers of the 80s together. This was the guy responsible for bringing in Kobe, for putting Shaq and Phil Jackson with Kobe. And then in 2002 to 2007, well, actually, I had that wrong. Anyways, he was a GM for the Memphis Grizzlies. There's nothing noteworthy about that 5-year period. And then finally in May of 2011, he joined the Golden State Warriors as an executive board member, reporting directly to the new owners. So this is a role that came with a minority ownership stake in the team. He was. This is the guy that was responsible for forming, the fucking Warriors team. That's
Splash Brothers and all.
Yeah, and then he's now a member of the Clippers organization on the board of directors and a management role. But anyways, Jerry West finished his career a one-time NBA champion, one-time Finals MVP, 10 All-NBA first-team selections, 14 All-Stars, 4 All-Defensive first-team selections.
He's in.
He's in?
Oh, yeah.
Jerry West belongs on this list.
Yes, because it's our show.
It's our show, and I didn't have to say it. And sorry, guys, I just,
Yeah.
February notes. So, 20B, Tim Hardaway Sr. I think Miami Heat when I think of Tim Hardaway.
Yeah, me too.
I had to put him on this list. I debated putting him on, and then I also debated putting no relation Penny Hardaway on this list.
Right.
And then I decided I'm only going to go with one Hardaway, and Mr. UTEP two-step Tim Hardaway was the one. He was born September 1st, 1966 in Chi-Town, played college ball at UTEP. He was drafted 14th overall in the first round by the Golden State Warriors in 89. He had an insane crossover dribble, flashy moves that would eventually become known as the UTEP two-step.
Yeah.
And in the early days of his career, he would be paired with Chris Mullins and Mitch Richmond, which shout out to our first episode ever, the Golden State episode.
Yeah.
They would be called Run TMC.
Yeah. And they could do just that. They could.
Yeah, fuck yeah, they could.
It was like a three-man weave going down the court.
Oh yeah. In his second season in the league in 90-91, he helped guide Golden State to the postseason. In the first round, the 7th-seeded Warriors crushed the 2-seeded Spurs, who were led at that time by perennial All-Star David Robinson in 4 games to advance to the second round to face Magic Johnson and the Lakers. Of course, they would fall in 5 games, even with Hardaway averaging 26.8 points, 12.4 assists, and 3.8 steals during the second round.
Definitely had his hand on them games for sure.
Right? Holy fuck.
That's pretty good numbers right there.
While he was there, he would become a 3-time All-Star, reach 5,000 points and 2,500 assists faster than any player in history except for the Big O, Oscar Robertson. Oh, and fun fact, it took Hardaway 262 games to do it. It only took Big O 247, so he's not far.
Right.
So, good company.
That's good company. That's pretty impressive.
And then during the middle of the 95-96 season, Golden State would send him packing to the Miami Heat in exchange for Kevin Willis and Bimbo Cole. Bimbo Coles.
Yeah, I remember him.
His first full season with Miami was his best season. He'd started 81 games that year, averaged 20.3 and 8.3, knocking down 203 trays for the season. He helped Miami reach a record 61 wins, finishing himself 4th in the MVP voting. I'm not going to do a full year-by-year breakdown here, but it's important to know that Hardaway performed well during his time with the Heat. And when I think of watching all the basketball I did in my youth and early teens, when I think of Tim Hardaway Sr., I think of him with the Heat. He helped bring the USA a gold medal in the 2000 Olympics. And then he was traded not long after the end of the 2000-2001 season to the Dallas Mavericks for a second-round pick. Now, there, he was obviously in the back half of his career, but he would become more of a role player. But that's not without mentioning he still had some drawing power. In the middle of the season, he would be traded to the Denver Nuggets in exchange for the second ugliest guy in NBA history, Nick Van Axel. He would start 14 games for Denver in 2002 to finish the season before retiring to become an ESPN analyst. That would only last briefly, as on March 27, 2003, Hardaway would sign a contract with the Pacers. He would retire for good following the 2003-2004 season. And after retiring, he would venture into coaching his later years. He was a player and head coach for the semi-pro ABA team, the Florida Pit Bulls. In the summer of 2014, he was announced as an assistant coach with the Detroit Pistons. He was named to the Basketball Hall of Fame in March of 2022, and his number was retired by UTEP. He also holds the record for most assists in Heat history until Dwayne Wade broke it in 2010. And he does still hold the Heat's all-time three-point record with 806. And what is a huge sign of respect to fans and players by an organization, his jersey number 10 was retired by the Miami Heat.
That says a lot.
5-time NBA All-Star, 1-time NBA All-First Team, 3-time NBA All-Second Team, 1-time NBA All-Third Team.
I like Hardaway Sr.
Are you getting bored?
No.
Okay, because I was like, I don't want this to turn into a shitty episode.
Well, I don't think it's doing that, no.
Okay.
But we can take a break at any point. I wouldn't mind getting me something to drink.
You want to take a break?
No, let's take a break.
You want to pause it?
Hardaway Sr. at 20B.
20B, so that next one will be 19.
Right.
Okay, we're back after an hour. Kurt bought lunch.
Yeah. That cow didn't die in vain, did it?
That cow did not die in vain, did it?
That's right.
Okay. Damn, I got a full belly. All right, let's plug another.
Yes.
Pay a bill. Pay a bill.
Who gonna pay?
Well, we got to save our girl for last because she's our best girl.
Right.
But we got other bills we can pay. Okay. All right, guys. So check out Main Street Designs LLC in Jasper, Indiana. It's a small family-owned business that specializes in laser engraving and direct-to-garment printing. They offer vinyl decals, baby blankets, logos for your tumblers, personalized items for your business. Pretty much do anything you want. Message them on Facebook or give them a call at 812-661-7765. They do quality work. Very good local DuBois County business there. They do ship, wherever. So check out Main Street Designs LLC.
Yes.
All right. So how you feeling about this? Feeling pretty good?
Yeah.
You were a little disengaged. I think we were hungry.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because I hadn't ate, and that's a lot for me. But all right. So Kurt and I on our way to and from Burger King. Shout out Burger King.
Yes, for sure.
We decided that we'll probably do like 15, and then we'll do 15 through 10, and that'll be another episode. So,
right.
Coming at number 19.
Yes.
Cleveland Cavaliers. Before LeBron ran that town was owned by this guy.
Mark Price.
Mark Price.
Yes.
Mark Price was born in Bartlesville, Oklahoma on February 15th, 1964.
Another Ramblin' Wreck product, wasn't he?
No, he was played for Georgia Tech.
Yep, Rambler Rick, Bobby Crimmins.
Elected 25th overall in the second round of the 86 NBA draft by the Dallas Mavericks, and then was dealt to Cleveland later on in the draft day. He helped establish the Cavaliers as a serious contender in the Eastern Conference. And I can't stress this enough. Think the LeBron James city love and hype minus LeBron James. That's what Mark Price got.
Right.
He was one of the most consistent shooters in NBA history at the end of his career, finishing with over 90% from the charity stripe, over 47% from the field, and over 40% from beyond. During the 89 season, he became the second player after Larry Bird to join the infamous 50-40-90 club.
All right.
For those that don't know, Kurt, what's the 50-40-90 club?
I'm not sure on the 50-40.
50 from the field, 40 from three, and 90 at the line.
Okay.
And he is only one of 8 players in league history to accomplish this feat while achieving the league minimum number of makes.
Okay.
He was consistently in the league's top 10 or top 5 in assists each season and held Cleveland's assist record with 42.06 until LeBron dethroned him in March of 2015. Another one of Price's distinguishing traits on the court was the pioneering of the splitting of the double team. And I got a quote in here from Steve Kerr that I think you're going to like.
Okay.
Steve said, Mark really revolutionized the way that people attack the screen and roll. To me, he was the first guy in the NBA who really split the screen and roll. A lot of teams started blitzing the pick and roll and jumping 2 guys at it to take the ball out of the hands of the point guard. He'd duck right between them and shoot that little runner in the lane. Nobody was doing that at the time. You watch an NBA game now, and almost everybody does that. Mark Price was the pioneer of that.
Yeah, agreed.
Price was
savvy.
Very savvy.
Very savvy. We're not talking about the tallest guy, the fastest guy.
Wasn't the flashiest guy either.
No,
a grinder.
Grinder. Down to business.
I got some Mark Price cards somewhere in the old card binder.
I like Mark Price. I mean,
I do too. I did. So he was plagued by injuries later in his career, a factor in his trade to the Washington Bullets prior to the 95-96 season. He played 1 season for Washington before moving on to the Golden State Warriors, with whom he spent the 96-97 season. In October 28th of 97, the Warriors would trade Price to the Magic for David Vaughn and Brian Shaw. He spent 1 season with the Magic before being waived on June 30th of 98, effectively ending his career. Not long after his retirement, Price's number 25 in the ultimate show of respect was retired by the Cleveland Cavaliers. He is a member of both the Georgia, Ohio, and Oklahoma Sports Halls of Fame. Mm-hmm. The city of Enid, Oklahoma, renamed the basketball arena where he played high school ball at to the Mark Price Arena as a tribute. He would venture into coaching at the collegiate and pro levels, with both head coaching and assistant stints starting in 1998 and 1999. He also held the Cavs franchise record in steals with 734 until LeBron surpassed him. He won the three-point contest in back-to-back years in 93 and 94. Wow. He finished in the top 10 voting for league MVP on 4 separate occasions. He's a 4-time NBA All-Star, a 1-time All-NBA team, and a 3-time NBA All-Third team. Impressive career for a guy that was basically LeBron in Cleveland before we had LeBron in Cleveland.
Definitely impressive. My type of guard, too.
Grinder,
yes.
Grinder.
Yes.
Okay, so you're okay with that?
Floor general, yes.
Well, ultimately, that's what you want your point guard to be.
Absolutely.
A floor general.
Yes.
You let the big boys down in the paint do the work. You just get the ball down to them. But
you get everybody involved. Make sure that everybody's where they need to be. What defense you're in. That's the type of things I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's my idea of a point guard.
That's your idea of a point guard?
Yes.
So,
more so than a points guard. People refer to him as, some people refer to it as points guard.
So we've went through 7 or 8 spots now. We've had 8 or 10 guys already now because we've had some ties. But now we're coming into number 18. And this is a guy that I knew I wanted to put on the list. I wasn't sure where exactly I was going to put him on the list at. And I'm interested to see what you say about this.
Okay.
Our boss, the infamous Adam Sweet, who's referenced on every episode, just like pro wrestling is.
Right.
Nate Tiny Archibald. Nate was born September 2nd, 98 in the South Bronx borough of New York City. He played college ball in two places. He played for Arizona Western in 67 and 68, as well as UTEP from 67 through 7, or excuse me. He played 66, 67, as well as 67 on through 70 for UTEP. He was drafted 19th overall in the second round of the 1970 NBA draft by the Cincinnati Royals.
Royals, huh? Would have known that. ABA.
That was an NBA draft.
NBA. I didn't know Cincinnati had an NBA franchise.
Fun fact, the Texas, and I don't even know how to pronounce this, the Texas Chaparrals of the old ABA also drafted him as well.
Huh.
In his NBA debut, he recorded 17 points and 7 assists. On March 13th, 1971, he set a then career-high scoring record of 47 points in a victory over the Atlanta Hawks. On November 18th, 72, he recorded 51 points and 14 assists.
Mind you, there was no three-point line at this time.
There wasn't.
There wasn't, no.
That's just getting in and balling.
Right. I'm just throwing it out there. So, yeah.
See, you need to do that more often. You need to throw these things out here.
Well, when I think of them, I try to.
Here you go. In the 72-73 NBA season, Archibald led the NBA in scoring and assists with 34 points and 11 assists in 46 minutes a game, with all three averages being career highs, becoming the only player to win titles in both categories in the same season. Note, in the 67-68 season, Big O, Oscar Robertson, led the NBA in points and assists per game, but did not win the titles because they were based on totals rather than averages at the time. In the 21-22 season, Trae Young led the NBA in total points and assists, but was only fourth in point per game, which is current.
Right.
Anyways, Archibald's scoring averages of 34 points per game broke the NBA record for a point guard, and as of 2020, is still a record for point guards. His 910 assists that season, which equals 11.4 assists per game, was also an NBA record at the time. He was named the Sporting News NBA MVP that season, and during the 75 NBA playoffs, Archibald made the postseason for the first time in his career after the then Kansas City Kings finished 44-38 in the regular season. Archibald went on to average 20.2 points and 5.3 assists in the 6-game series loss in the first round to Bob Love and the old Chicago Bulls. Archibald would play for the Royals Kings from 70 through 76. And although he was the Kings' most popular player, he was then traded to the New York Nets for 2 first-round picks. In 76, Archibald would then go on to average a comparatively low 20 points per game in his 34 games he played for the Nets. Injured for much of the 76-77 season, he was traded by the Nets to the Buffalo Braves, who would later become Los Angeles Clippers.
Okay.
He tore his Achilles tendon and never played a regular season game for Buffalo. They would trade him to Boston as part of a 7-player deal at the time. Yeah. His career at the Celtics started poorly. He showed up 20 pounds overweight. They weren't happy with him. Fuck yous were traded. But he eventually fell in line, adjusted, and he helped guide the Celtics to the best record in the NBA for 3 consecutive years from 79 through 82. And he won his first and only NBA championship with the Celtics in the 80-81 season alongside a very young
Larry Bird. I think he had to adapt his game a little bit after that injury, right? Instead of more of explosive.
Yes, he was. He was not the same player.
Right, he wasn't as explosive.
A smarter player.
Yes, smarter player. And he became a more pass-first guard.
Right.
Which, yeah, I mean...
Archibald played on February 15th, 82. He recorded a 23 assists over the Denver Nuggets, and then in 83 he was waived by the Celtics. He would then go on to sign and play his final season with the Milwaukee Bucks, starting at point guard for all 46 games he played in. He was named one of the 50 greatest players in NBA history in 1996. He was inducted into the Naismith Hall of Fame in 91. In 2021, he was announced as part of the NBA's 75th anniversary team. He sits ranked 26 overall in NBA history in career assists and 104th in scoring. He finished in the top 10 of the MVP voting on 5 occasions, finishing third as his highest place. He would have his number 1 jersey number retired by the Sacramento Kings and his alma mater, UTEP. His career reads as a 1-time NBA champion, a 6-time All-Star, a 1-time All-Star Game MVP, a 3-time All-First Team, 2-time All-Second Team, 1-time scoring champion, 1-time assist leader, and a 2-time anniversary team member for both the 50th and 75th anniversary teams.
I like where you got him.
You like where I got him?
Yeah. I mean, he could even go a little higher, but
a little higher, probably. Looking back in retrospect, I probably could have put him a little higher than 18th, but
I'm cozy with that.
Cozy.
Yeah.
That's funny. It's funny you would say that. Anyways.
Cozy. I'm cozy with that.
Cozy. What do you think? You know anybody named Cozy?
No.
Cozy? Cozy?
Oh. Dude, give it away, dude.
Damn it. So here comes some controversy. And before I go into any stats, I'm just going to say we're going to jump right into this. Number 17. I'm sure there'll be some controversies. There'll be people that are out there that are saying he doesn't belong on the list. There's some people that's saying that's too low. There'll even be some people that's saying that's too high. And this is where I'm interested to see what you have to say. Coming in at number 17, born March 23rd of 1992 in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. Kyrie Irving.
At number
17. Adam Sweet says basketball IQ, he's one of the top 10 of all time. Attitude-wise, drama, playing-wise, not even close.
Hit the nail right on the head. I think he hit the nail on the head there.
Basketball IQ, he's probably one of the top 10 players I've ever seen. But as far as his attitude on the court,
he does have a championship, right?
That's right. He his dad played college ball at Boston University alongside Sean Teague, who Jeff and Marquise Teague's dad. His dad played under Coach Rick Pitino. Now Kyrie himself, deep pedigree, 1 season.
You're all right.
Duke, Coach K.
Yep.
He was selected first overall in the 2011 NBA draft by the Cavaliers, who at that point were a season removed from LeBron cutting bait and heading south to Miami. And then I got a whole bunch of Kyrie stats here. Let's just say Kyrie's first 3 years in Cleveland, although they didn't translate to a whole lot of success, individually wise, Kyrie was balling out, showing everybody he was worthy of being it. There was a primetime game in January 2013 on primetime, right around Christmas. It was New Orleans versus Cleveland. It was the 2 back-to-back picks, number 1 going up. It was Anthony Davis with the Pelicans going up against Kyrie and the Cavs, and that was a hell of a game. I watched. I'm just bringing that up from memory. But now,
I'm thinking, what's he going to do with this current situation he's in with the Nets? He still plays with the Nets.
He still plays for the Nets. Yeah,
buttload of talent there, right?
Yeah, they've had some pieces that are left, like Harden's gone,
right? Which is unfortunate.
Yeah, but Kyrie was already getting All-Star appearances by year 2 or 3. He was getting All-Star Game MVPs. He was the All-Star Game MVP of the 2014 All-Star Game. He was recording 31 points and 14 assists. And then I just want to fast forward. The first few years before LeBron came back, there wasn't a lot of super success, but Kyrie has an individual success. And then on July of 2014, he signed a 5-year, $90 million extension with the Cavaliers. This came after LeBron's return to Cleveland and Kevin Love's trade request from Minnesota as the trio set up to form a big three in Cleveland, and that was groundbreaking.
It was a big three.
So I want to break off this just for a second to set a picture for everybody. So the summer of 2014 was, I had my accident at work in May, second, third degree burns, and I spent, 4 or 5 months at home convalescing. Right. So when I wasn't, pilled out of my head with all the medicine they had me on, and I wasn't drooling and sleeping 18 hours a day, I'd be awake during the day. My wife and our little son and our newborn, I would just be watching ESPN, and it comes across, Spurs beat the Heat, LeBron James opts out of the Miami deal. Right. At the time, I'm thinking LeBron's opting out. He's just going to re-sign a bigger contract in Miami. He's not going anywhere. Then it comes in that LeBron's coming back to Cleveland. And they've already got Kyrie, and you can tell the star that Kyrie's becoming,
right,
that he's going to be. At that point, the draft that year was huge. You had like Jabari Parker coming out of Duke. You had Andrew Wiggins coming out of Kansas. Another couple big names I can't think of where they were coming out of. Cleveland had already had, I believe it was Andrew Wiggins, who was set to be a star, or so we thought.
Right.
They deal him to Minnesota to get Kevin Love. Then LeBron's coming back, and it's like all of a sudden you're sitting here looking, there's a big three in Cleveland. LeBron's coming back, Kyrie's there. He's going to have Kevin Love down in the paint because Kevin's pretty versatile. He can play the 5.
Yeah.
Traditionally, he's a 4, I think.
Right.
But he can play the 5. Yeah.
Stretch 4, yeah.
So he's going to have Kevin Love down in the paint. He's going to have Kyrie kind of run the offense. Although, let's make no doubt, LeBron's running the offense.
Right.
But still, in theory, Kyrie's run it. And it's like these guys are going to win like the next 4 league championships. Didn't happen.
Right.
They went to like 4 or 5 straight championships.
The opportunity was there, yes.
So,
I thought they was missing a big guy.
And that wasn't Tristan Thompson.
It wasn't.
That was not Tristan Thompson.
Not Yagalskis.
No, and
they lacked a big guy, I thought.
They lacked a big.
Yeah. That's the only thing I think kept them from winning 2, 3, 4 championships in a row.
But things change when LeBron comes back to Cleveland. Kyrie I think being around LeBron, the focus is completely on that team now, and the spotlight's on you even more. You're a former number 1 overall pick, not just a first-round pick, you're the number 1 pick.
Right.
The most coveted player, and Kyrie just starts to ball out. They go to the postseason. They lose to the Warriors. Then March 2015 gets around. Kyrie's balling out. He's putting up like 40 and 50-point burgers in games. Let me scroll down here.
While he was still assisting. Yeah.
While he was still assisting LeBron, and LeBron was still grabbing 30 or 40 points a game.
Right.
On March of 2015, Kyrie scored a career-high 57 points. It was the most points for a player in a regular season game against the defending champions since the Wilt Chamberlain days, because this happened against the San Antonio Spurs. It also surpassed the Cavaliers' franchise single-game scoring mark of 56 points, which was set by LeBron. He helped the Cavaliers win 34 of their final 43 games that season. They finished as the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. In his first career playoff game, he would score 30 points to help over Cleveland defeat Boston in Game 1 of their first-round playoff matchup. He went on to help them reach the finals for the second time in franchise history, despite missing 2 games in the Eastern Conference Finals. Of course, that first year they would lose to the Warriors in 6 games. So then Kyrie's, continuing to ball out here. We all know the 2015-2016 season. Warriors go 73-9. We got a rematch from the prior year's finals. They're coming up. The Cavaliers, they breezed. I want to point this out. The 2015-2016 Cavaliers with Kyrie at the helm with LeBron and Kevin Love, they went 12-2 in the playoffs to reach the finals. They faced Golden State for the second straight year. Irving struggled in his first finals game. He only shot 7-22 from the field.
Well, look who's going against
Well, yeah. And then, of course, they're down, 3-1. They come back and win. Kyrie hit a three-pointer with 53 seconds left in the game. LeBron had the big block on Andre Iguodala that we've all seen above the rim block. But anyways, Kyrie put the clutch shot in. They won the series 4-3, brought a 52-year championship drought to the city of Cleveland, brought the Cavs their first championship. They go on. They face the Warriors again the following year. Kyrie's putting up numbers. And then eventually they lose. And then in 2017, July of 2017, Kyrie requested a trade out of Cleveland. The rumor mill was that he wanted to be more of the focal point on his team instead of just being a LeBron James contributor. Take that what you will. He would get traded to the Celtics. And then I'm not going to code them down and read through all this more and more. I shouldn't have to sell you on Kyrie, I don't think.
No.
But Kyrie helps Boston get to the playoffs some. They don't do that great. There's no championships or nothing. And then eventually he leaves Boston and ends up in Brooklyn. I'm trying to find where that is. I just skipped over my notes. In July 2019, so 2 years after he got to Boston, he goes to Brooklyn. He becomes the star of the show. And then COVID-19 mass mandates, city of New York. Kyrie refuses to be vaxxed, so he won't play.
Right.
So then they find loopholes to where he can play on games where they're not playing in New York City. And then this season that's currently ongoing, or that is just wrapped up, and we're in postseason time, wherever we're at here. He didn't make his season debut until later in the season.
Did they even reach the playoffs?
I don't know. I haven't checked the stats on this yet. I don't know if Brooklyn's in there or not. I haven't been paying attention.
I haven't either.
Fun fact, he was in contention for a position on the Australian team for the Olympics. However, he decided to be on the United States team for the 2016 Olympics. Another fun fact, with the 2016 Summer Olympics gold medal, he became just the fourth member of Team USA to capture an NBA title and gold medal in the same year, joining LeBron, Jordan, and Pippen. In addition to this, as most players do, as I started to put this in here, because now we're starting to get into some of the March notes here, where it was a little bit more better. A little bit more better. That's what the fuck? What the fuck was that? A little bit more better. God, I'm trying to. This is supposed to be our magnum opus. We look like magnum dumbasses.
No.
But anyways, he's a, all the things you'd expect for a player with his caliber. Multi-million-dollar shoe deal, acting roles. He's involved in various charity and activism causes. He was a lot of money in supporting of the George Floyd incident that rocked the nation, the Dakota pipeline issues. He helped fund and actually build towers for fresh water in Afghanistan and Pakistan.
He's a flat earther, too.
He's a flat earther. He helped pay. One thing, though, that was cool. He helped pay salaries of the underpaid WNBA women who opted out of the 2020-2021 season because of COVID.
That's impressive.
That is. And here's the stats. 7-time All-Star. 1-time NBA champion. All-Star Game MVP. All-NBA second team. 2-time All-Third team. Rookie of the Year, all rookie team. And did he get a 75th? He was snubbed on the 75th anniversary team. So, let's talk Kyrie here.
I think he's a top 25 worthy.
Think he's a flat earther?
He says he is.
Flat earther, huh?
Well, I don't know. That's what I hear.
That's what you hear?
No.
He's a flat earther.
I don't know about all that. Yeah. But
okay, so. Whoa.
Only thing
Well, hit me
he's
with
on
it.
the list. Maybe not 17.
Maybe 20th.
20th, maybe. But
I almost put him in at 25, but I thought maybe that was too low.
I'm saying 20, 25, somewhere around there. Definitely worthy of the top 25.
Okay.
Is that fair enough?
That's fair enough. Right. So we're getting ready to jump to 16. So my thought process here is we will roll 16. We will roll tape on 15. And then we'll shut it down. I'll upload it. We'll go right back into recording.
Yeah.
So
I'd say we save the final 10 for the last episode. Right?
Yeah, so we're going to break this down because this is so much data. And I'm still working on the notes, as I've mentioned twice now. Last night I tapped out about 2:00 in the morning, or this morning. So, because me and Kurt don't work today, we don't work Fridays, so we get our paid holiday for Good Friday today.
Today, yes.
So we go back to the shithole tomorrow. I can say shithole, it's fine. But so yeah, so I've got to work on 8 through 1, which, by the way, there's a tie at 2.
Right.
Because that one was tough.
Yeah, tough, yeah.
I'm not going to give anything more away, but I do want to pay at least 1 or 2 more bills here. Just kind of, because it's nice to get back in the rhythm of doing this. Yes. Shout out a little Ice Cube there.
Yeah.
So, check out Beauty and the Beard Co. on Facebook. They have a .com. They're a local company. They're not local for us, but they're a small company, I should say, based in Marysville, Ohio. They have great swag. They have soaps, beard kits. Kurt don't have to worry about that anymore.
Well, not for a few weeks.
As I'm sitting here, he looks like a 1970s Ron Jeremy porn star. He's got a little bit of a goatee, and it's mostly all stash. But check out Beauty and the Beard Co. for all your beard knits. Damn, I can't talk today. For all your beard needs. Kits, swag, soaps, essential oils, the work. And for our users, if you enter discount code SteelToes15 at checkout, you will get discounted merchandise.
And so the porn star look.
The porn star look.
Oh, no.
Okay, so this one, Doyle had an opinion on last night as well. And I was like, damn it, I'm not changing this list. I started putting this. Now we're starting to get into some of the April notes. I literally only have like 2 or 3 Moncrief paragraphs, I think.
Well, yeah, let's get it out there.
Okay, maybe a few more. So we'll just kind of scope things here. So coming in at 16, Sidney Moncrief. Sid the Squid.
Yeah, pretty tough.
Sir Sid. I always liked the Sid the Squid myself.
What a defender.
Born September 21st, 1957 in Little Rock, Arkansas. He played college ball at Arkansas. Fun fact, and I put this in bold. Can you tell me who his assistant coach was? And it's got Indiana ties because there's a court named after his assistant coach who would become a head coach for an Indiana collegiate university.
Don't know.
What is Purdue's court named?
Katie. There you go. Okay. I did not know that.
Gene Katie was his assistant coach. I figured you'd get a pop out of that.
Yeah. Gene Katie. Wow. The little bulldog.
Anyways, Moncrief was drafted 5th overall in the first round of the 79 NBA draft by the Milwaukee Bucks. During the 80 and 81 season, so his second year, he helped them get to a 60 and 22 record, 3rd best in the league. Despite a strong showing in the regular season, Milwaukee would lose in 7 games to Philadelphia in the conference semifinals after coach Don Nelson unsuccessfully contested Milwaukee's 99-98 Game 7 loss for 2 hours and 16 minutes when bringing up if Philadelphia got away with a 24-second shot clock violation at the end of the game.
Did not remember that.
Did not remember that? I didn't even know that. I had to Google research that.
Trying to think of somebody's supporting cast. Baldwin here.
Oh, let's see what we got here.
Terry Cummins.
Terry Cummins. There's a fun name.
Was no, it wouldn't be.
Moncrief would lead the Bucks to a sweep of Larry Bird and the Celtics in the second round.
Buck Williams.
In 83. Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see, on November of 83, Moncrief would score 25 points and blocked a career-high 4 shots against Alex English and the Nuggets.
Alex English, damn it.
Who was a former Buck player, I do believe. Moncrief recorded his first career triple-double with 16, 10, and 10 in December of 83 over a win over the Cavaliers. And December of 84, Moncrief and Cummings and Paul Pressey combined for 76 points and an impressive 67% of Milwaukee's points in a game against the Pistons.
I forgot about Paul Pressey.
A win in which the Bucks were without coach Don Nelson, Mike Dunleavy Sr., and Charles Davis, who had all suffered neck and back injuries. That was an impressive one. 67% of their points.
That's pretty impressive, yeah.
Mike Dunleavy Sr. was on that team.
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
I did not know that.
Milwaukee was reaching a lot of the postseason. I got some year-by-year rundowns here, but Moncrief was helping them get to the postseason quite a bit. I think he touched base with Dennis Johnson here coming up. Let me see here. I remember reading something about that. Oh, you whore. I can't do this left-handed, bro. Let me scroll back up here.
That didn't sound right.
Yeah.
Oh, you whore. I can't do this left-handed. What's going on?
Oh, God.
Well, I'm just saying, that's a Three's Company moment there.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Three's Carper, Mr.
Roper
or Mr. Hurley?
I like Roper.
Hurley. Really?
Yeah, I like Roper. Yeah. I like Don Knotts, yeah. But, I mean, I don't know.
Don Knotts, Barney Fife, Don Knotts, Mr. Hurley.
Don Knotts, Barney Fife.
Nice.
Yeah. Mr. Furley was pretty funny, though. He was funny.
But you pick Roper over Furley.
Yeah. Just because of his wife.
Man, oh man, Suzanne Summers.
Yeah.
You remember Suzanne Summers' Three's Company.
Oh, yeah.
I remember being a preteen boy, Suzanne Summers, ABC, Friday night, TGIF lineup.
Yeah.
Family Matters, Step by Step, which is where I remember Suzanne Summers from.
Good looking.
Damn, I was just thinking about it. Man, she was a very well-endowed lady.
Pretty.
She had a pair of PH double Ds. Very bright girl. Very bright girl.
She's pretty.
Purdy.
Yes.
I done lost my fucking train of thought. Okay, during the 87 NBA playoffs, after advancing past the 76ers in the first round, on May 15th, 87, Sid Moncrief scored a playoff career high of 34 points in a Game 6 win against the Celtics in the Eastern Conference semifinals. The performance was notable given he was primarily guarded by fellow defensive great Dennis Johnson. But the Bucks were going to lose the series in 7 games. On May 24th, it was announced Moncrief and teammates Randy Brewer, Terry Cummins, Jerry Reynolds would each be fined thousands of dollars for the roles in an altercation in the game. Danny Ainge and Greg Kite of the Celtics were also fined. The altercation began when Ainge fouled Moncrief from behind during a fast break layup attempt, and no players were ejected or suspended. In arguably the last healthy playoff series of his career, Moncrief would average 20 and 4. On December 23rd, 1988, by frequently missing games due to knee and foot injuries, Moncrief would come back to score 25 points, enlarged to making perfect 13-13 for free throw attempts. Moncrief would retire for the first time at the conclusion of that year's postseason in the Eastern Conference semifinals, lost to the Detroit Pistons. He would sit out of the NBA for 1 year then, during the 89-90 season. Moncrief played one season with Atlanta before retiring at the conclusion of the postseason. On May 2nd, 91, he would score 23 points in only 22 minutes during a Game 4 victory against the Pistons, although the Hawks would go on to lose the series. The Bucks initially retired his number 4 jersey in 90 and rededicated it at halftime in January of 2008 when the Warriors, with whom he was a shooting coach for at the time, was in town to play the Bucks. During the 80s, Moncrief was the leader of the Bucks, who had the third best winning percentage for the entire decade, behind only the Lakers,
Magic,
and the Celtics with Bird.
Yeah.
Moncrief was known for his versatility on the court, given that he was 6'4" in stature, but was most known for his tenacious defense.
Yes.
Although he was thought of as one of the greatest shooting guards of his time, he is technically considered a point guard. He was never able to get to the finals, which hampered his status, or so they say.
Right.
Moncrief was named the ABA Defensive Player of the Year. Skip that.
I just remember a toughness about him, too. He was a tough kid.
He was nasty.
Yes. Yeah, he would have fit right in with the Pistons.
He was a mini Bill Laimbeer.
He would have fit right in with the Pistons team, bad boys.
Moncrief still holds the Bucks record for career free throws with 35.05 and career free throw attempts with 42.14, as well as the career offensive rating 119.7. He had bad knees, which severely hampered his career. Among Moncrief's biggest fans was all-star Michael Jordan, who once described his intensity as saying, when you play against Moncrief, you're in for a night of all-around basketball. He'll hound you everywhere you go, both ends of the court. Larry Bird was saying that Moncrief does everything you're supposed to do on defense and doesn't take any shortcuts, and I really don't like playing him.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Julius Erving would say Moncrief was one of the best he'd ever seen. He was inducted into the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame in 98. He was put in the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame in 2019. He's a 5-time NBA All-Star, a 1-time All-NBA First Team, 4-time NBA All-Second Team, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, back-to-back years, 84 and 85, 4-time Defensive First Team, 1-time Defensive Second Team.
A solid pick.
Solid pick.
Top 25 for sure.
Top 25 for sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So, now here we are up at 15, and we have a tie.
Oh, man.
So, we can either do both 15s.
We'll do them both.
And then break. Okay. So, 15A. Chelsea Billups.
Yeah. Champion.
Born September 25th, 76, Denver, Colorado.
Went to school at Colorado?
Went to school at
Buffalo?
Yeah, I didn't put it in there.
For some reason, I think he did go to Colorado. But anyway.
He wasn't. Yeah, Colorado. That's right, yeah. Colorado.
Buffalo.
So, him and head coach, he was the first-round pick, 3rd overall, 97 NBA draft by the Celtics. Pitino at that time had left Kentucky.
Sure, yeah.
Kentucky was in,
Louisville.
I remember, left. No, he was UK.
Oh.
Then he went to Boston. Ron Mercer. He brought Mercer from college.
Right.
Okay. Him and Pitino didn't get along. Yeah, it wasn't very long that there was literally nothing I put in here about this, because within a year he was traded. Not even a year. It was half a season. Him and whatever reason, him and the coaching staff, him and Pitino didn't get along. There's nothing of serious note. They dealt him at the trade deadline in February '98. He went to the Toronto Raptors. Popeye Jones and Kenny Anderson was part of the trade deal that went back to Boston. And then in his second career game with the Raptors, he blows up for like 27 points, 13 for 16 from the free throw line. On January of '99, though, he would be dealt from. He was dealt from Toronto. I'm just getting ahead of myself. He was going to play for the Nuggets. He would go to Denver.
Okay.
So he would go back home.
I don't think this worked out very well either, did it?
No, because he hops around a lot the first few years of the career, and by all intents and purposes, kind of the bust.
Yeah.
That's what people are thinking. That's what sports writers are thinking. Until he gets to, and we're just going to skip to that.
Yeah.
He was bounced around.
And really looking to find
NBA circles, it was a bust. After Denver had released him in February 2000. Well, I take it back. There's another stop.
Okay.
In February 2000, he would be traded to the Magic along with Ron Mercer, who we just mentioned earlier.
Right.
He was on the injuries list. He would never play a game for the Magic. They then released him. He's considered a bust. He would then be signed by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Okay. He's still not really...
It wasn't a fit there.
Wasn't really a fit there at first. And then in 2001, 2002, I can't think of the guy's name. I should have put in the notes. Their star point guard goes down. Chauncey Billups would replace him. And then in 2001, 2002, Billups would have like a breakout season where after, 6 years in the league, now this dude's coming out all of a sudden and he's
matured or what have you.
Yeah, he's having a breakout season. He becomes a free agent. He wanted to go back and sign with Minnesota again. They didn't want it. So in June of 2002, he signed a 5-year, $35 million contract with the Pistons. Which...
Here's the Chauncey Billups.
Yeah, this is Chauncey Billups. Everything changes. And over the course of these next couple of seasons, Chauncey really blossoms into his own. He's putting up some double-doubles. He's looking good. And then things change even more because towards the end, in the 2003 playoffs, the top-seeded Pistons would... So this is the other thing. He signs with them, and the next year they're the top-seeded playoff team. Okay. They fall behind the 8-seed Magic in the first round, 3-1. They come and they take it to a game 7. Billups scores 37 points to help clinch the series 4-3. They then beat the 76ers in the Eastern Conference semifinals to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals against the New Jersey Nets. They're swept 4-0. Rick Carlisle was the coach at the time. He gets fired.
Right. Derek Coleman era.
And then Larry Brown comes in.
I'm trying to think of that Nets. Would it Keith Van Horn?
Jason Kidd, probably.
Jason Kidd. Who did I just mention from Syracuse there? Derek Coleman?
I wonder if Jason Kidd's on this list.
I wonder, too.
But then 2004 is when the magic happens. He would average 16 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal a game. Not stellar, but solid. Pistons would finish 54-28, third seed in the Eastern Conference Finals. The first round series against the Milwaukee Bucks, Chauncey just balls out.
Yeah.
They get to the Eastern Conference semifinals against the Nets. There's some triple overtime games that happen. This was also the same year the brawl.
Yeah.
That happened. But anyways, the 2004 NBA Finals, Billups would help Detroit win. He averaged they would beat the heavily favored Lakers 4-1.
Right.
Chauncey would average 21 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal per game, shooting 50% from the field, 47% from three-point line, and over 93% from free throws. He would get an NBA Finals MVP award. I know I'm skipping over a lot, but it's really hard to kind of condense it all in. Basically, Chauncey is starting to come into his own when he gets to Detroit. This is the player that people thought they were getting when he was drafted by Boston.
They had a few other good players plugged in with him.
Right. And he continues to grow from there.
And Rip Hamilton.
The
Wallace boys.
The Wallace, Ben, Rashid. Flip Saunders was coach.
Yeah.
So now I'm just going to kind of skip around here. Chauncey does a couple more stays in some places. Towards the end of his career, he would end up playing for the Clippers. I was drawing blank there. I was like, damn it. Let me see here. What else we got? He would move around a lot. In July 2013, he would sign a 2-year, $5 million contract to return to the Pistons, but knee problems caused him to miss more of those seasons. And on June 30th, 2014, the Pistons announced they would not pick up their team option on him. And in September of 2014, he would announce his retirement from the NBA. The Pistons retired his jersey number 1, ultimate sign of respect. He's went on to have a coaching career. Right now, he's currently the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers. Right. He's very politically active. He's rallies. He's endorsed the Democrat Party, specifically Barack Obama. He had a brief stint working for ESPN. I know I didn't run through all this completely, but as a teenager, I loved Chauncey Billups. I was a huge Chauncey Billups guy. And the resume reads as, he's a one-time NBA champion, one-time Finals MVP, 5-time All-Star, All-NBA second team, 2-time All-Third team, 2-time All-Defensive second team, Sportsmanship Award, Teammate of the Year. And that's all I got for Chauncey.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. We'll go with that.
Now, I really hope you don't want me to sell you on this one, because this is a lot of shit to read, too. I really did a lot. I mean, there's 63 pages of notes, bro. 15B. He's a young buck, born in Long Beach, California, L.A., November 12th, 1988.
Michael Westbrook.
Not Michael Westbrook.
Or what is his name?
Russell Westbrook.
Westbrook.
Selected 4th overall by the 2008 draft by the Seattle Supersonics, who less than a week later would become the Oklahoma City Thunder. All I need to say about Westbrook is
sell me on him, bro.
triple-double.
Yeah.
And he's had 4 seasons now where he's averaging triple-doubles.
And if he could shoot the ball, oh my gosh, holy crap.
The
unguardable, really.
2016-2017 season, he was on pace. He just started putting up triple-doubles. I want to point this out by saying a guy who's going to finish in the top 5 of this list, the big O, Oscar Robinson, was the only player in NBA history to ever average a triple-double in the season. And Westbrook was chasing it, and it was either the 15-16 season or the 16-17 season. That's all you really need to know.
Right.
He's perennial...
Still playing.
He's part of the Lakers super team right now with LeBron. He's had some stint. He did a little bit of time over there in Houston the last few years. Right. But he's always a bridesmaid, never a bride. So maybe that hurts him. I don't know.
I don't think so.
But not only is he averaging the triple-doubles, then he kept averaging another triple-double another triple-double.
I might even put him higher than where you got him.
And goddamn, he might well be deserving of that.
Yeah. I mean, triple-double this day and age, with all the athleticism out there, but I tell you what, that's pretty impressive. Unguardable at times.
Unguardable is a good word for it. I know I keep saying this is supposed to be our magnum opus episode, but I haven't really.
Well, we got to the top 10.
No, maybe it'll get better in the lap, but there's so much information that I think I'm just sitting here getting overwhelmed about where to start with it, where to go with it.
You ain't got to sell me on that one, bro.
Okay, well, for those of you that are listening, Westbrook got a lot of money to stay with you. So Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook. Damn, I can't talk today. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, 2015-2016 season, Oklahoma City. It looks like a viable contender. They're kicking ass. They're taking it right to Golden State, who, just had the 73-9 regular season. They look like they're going to beat them in the Western Conference Finals. Golden State, Klay Thompson, 40 points a game, comes back, shuts down OKC. Durant gets pissy, leaves in free agency, goes to Golden State, cheats to win his ring.
Yeah, I agree.
They're realizing that they just lost Durant. They're not going to lose Westbrook because Westbrook had been pretty vocal about wanting to return home to L.A. Didn't give a fuck if it was the Lakers or the Clippers. They signed him to a massive, $200 million contract extension. Then they eventually deal him, a year or two later to the Houston Rockets, puts him with James Harden.
He likes the championship, though. But
he likes the championship.
He's not done yet, I guess.
No, he's playing for the Lakers right now. 2020, 2021, he averaged his fourth triple-double season. And career, his fourth. So not only did nobody since Big O average a triple-double, Westbrook has now done it 4 fucking seasons. They're not all been consecutive, but
comfortably at 15 could be higher.
15 higher. So here's what it is. He'd also win a gold medal. Did I put all this other shit in there? He's kind of been criticized for. Some people think he's a ball hog, which I think if you're that fucking good, you can kind of do what you want.
If you're unguardable.
But here's his resume. He's a one-time NBA MVP. So it was the 2016-2017 season because that's the year he got the MVP. He's been a 3-time assist leader, a 2-time scoring champion, a 9-time All-Star, 2-time All-Star Game MVP, 2-time All-First Team, 5-time All-Second Team, 2-time All-Third Team, 2-time scoring champion. I think I said that. He was a rookie team. Did he win Rookie of the Year that year or not? I think he did. No, but he did get a bid for the 75th anniversary team. So there you go. We're breaking the fourth wall. I'm going to crack jokes when we record again. Oh, yeah. How are you, Kurt? What a beautiful day, because but the way the list reads now, so we've done the top 15 here. At 25, you've got a tie with Kenny the Jed Smith and Stephon Marbury. You've got Derrick Rose at 24, Mark Jackson at 23, Mo Cheeks at 22, Chris Paul at 21. At 20, you've got a tie between Jerry West and Tim Hardaway Sr. 19, you have Mark Price. 18, you have Tiny Archibald. 17, Kyrie. 16, Sid Moncrief. And at 15, you've got a tie between Chelsea Billups and Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
So, one more time here. Let's pay the bill.
All right.
Let's shout out our favorite baby girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ice Cube. It's like 1994 Ice Cube.
Barry White or something. I keep waiting to hear Barry playing. Yeah, baby, it's so good.
It's like old school G-Funk, slow gangster rap. So check out Nana's Aromas LLC on Facebook or check her out at nanasaromas.com. Located in beautiful Harrison County, Indiana, Palmyra.
It's beautiful up that way.
Yes, it is. Nana has a store, but she's takes COVID pretty seriously. She, anyways, call her to schedule an appointment to view her store. Otherwise, you can shop online. She makes candles, custom made from start to finish. Everything done by her. The labeling, the wicks, the hand wicking, all of it. But she has more than just candles. She has air fresheners. She has melts, the works, anything you need. And she does everything in small batch quantities for better QC. She sent us a free candle. I don't burn it very often because I don't want to waste it. It smells good. It's
Good enough to eat.
Blueberry cheesecake.
Smells good enough to eat.
That's correct. So Nana does ship all over the U.S., so please, please, please give her a call at 812-972-3670. That's 812-972-3670. Or check her out on the web.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro.
Right on.
So, hope you guys enjoyed part 1 of the top 25 point guards of all time. This was the hardest and dumbest thing we've ever done. I promise you we will not do a ranking of shooting guards, the forwards, or the centers ever, never, fucking ever.
Right.
We'll never do another ranking episode of anything again.
So you should have come to me that day and be like, well,
this is what we're doing. Yeah, this...
Well,
okay.
I mean, we're all right.
All right, bro.
Yep.
Guys, we'll see you next time.
Peace out.